Hello and welcome to how I play my level 70 Shaman. So we're on our Shaman here, Zarog, and we're going to kind of go over the spells and all that stuff, but I want to keep a note here that this is built upon the level 50, 55, 60, and 65 videos. Each of these are kind of incremental and with some thoughts behind everything, how everything goes and all that. So it's kind of a, if you didn't watch the previous ones, you might miss out on something. So I don't know what I need to cover in those, but they're not isolated videos. They're all built upon each other, all the way up to 125. In the first few videos, I cover how I do extended targets. So I'll gloss over that in this video, but we're going to start off with spells. So the very first spell we got going here is Yappa's Mending, which is our big heal. This is a big single target heal. Does 2468 healing. It's pretty okay. It's not great, but it's okay. Next up, we have a Balance of Discord, which is a single target slow. I believe it's like a 75% slow, but not most of the time. It is partially slowing mobs. Next up, we have Blood of Yopa, which is the only damage over time spell we have memorized at this point, doing 1100 damage per tick. And let's go ahead and just click this one on here, spell damage. We should see, 1400 with all the focus of stuff. Like, it can do some serious damage. It's 1100 base, but once you start adding all the extra stuff on there, it does a little bit more. And then we get critical for 2300. So it's nice damage when we can do it, but lately I have not been able to do much dots. That's why we only have one memorized. Next up, we have Ghost of Renewal. This is our group torpor spell. It does 630 damage per tick for 24 seconds. So if we go ahead and click this, with all the bonuses and stuff that we get, it actually lasts for 45 seconds. And we should have AEs that benefit it also through the I think healing boon. Yeah, so this will double the healing value on critical versions and stuff like that. So it does a lot of healing, and it does everybody in the group at once. So it's nice. And later on, this spell becomes the focus spell for the Shaman class through Illuminary's Synergy. The level 105 version of this is called Shear of Renewal, same spell, but it allows us to get increased healing for the next 3 healing spells. So I'm kind of pre-planning for that by already putting it in my multi-bind and knowing that it's there and using it like I would use it at 100 plus, right? So it's kind of some thought behind that. Next up, I have Lingering Sloth. Now, this is a buff you put on your tank to slow mobs. Now, it's not the best slow that we got, but it's like a 5-minute duration, 240 charges. It will, every time something happens there, with the combat, the creature strikes the target, right, it has a chance to slow it. And it is nice when you pull like 2 or 3 mobs and you get a slow, right? You get a free slow because you don't have to take the aggro, you don't have to change targets. It's just you get the slow. So that makes sense. Spirit of the Panther. Now, very soon, I think in the next spell set, this becomes a group spell. But right now, this is a single target buff increase, the damage buff increase. It gives us a proc. If we go here to my Shadow Knight and just thwack this guy right here and go to spell damage, you see Panther Maw, 400 damage. So it does 400 damage, quite a bit. It is a very nice spell to put on melee and pets. But since it is single target, I only cast it on the tank. And I don't cast it very often. I'm bad at it, but if I was playing only playing a Shaman, I would put it on everybody in the group and I'd tell them to go melee. But that's just not how I play. So it's very nice. It does a lot of extra damage. Adds up to, gives the Shaman, 80 PS is what it's called, right? And then we have Spiritual Serenity, which is our single target heal over time that does not stack with Ghost of Renewal. So if I try to cast this on myself, it should overwrite Ghost of Renewal, as you see right there. Now, Ghost Renewal does 600, this does 800, so obviously single target is better. But it's the single target doesn't do the synergy later on, and the group one, I only have one character that takes damage most of the time, so it really works out really well. Using either of those to heal, but I like the group version because I don't have to target anybody and I can just cast it and it will hit the group. In a multi-bind situation, it just means I don't have to switch targets from whatever I'm on, right? And it has, that other one has a longer recast time. This one has no recast time. Then I have Pained Memory. This is our current level Cannibalize spell. I don't do it very often, but when I do it. It's a 20-second reuse, so it's not too bad. You can see there we got instantly healed back all the damage there. If we do like Cannibalize, right? This is our big Cannibalize, and it's just instantly gets healed back. Like if we have the group or the single target torpor on, that's how powerful this group healing and stuff can get, and it will be stronger in the future. So, and then here at the end I have group regen as my final slot, just because I like to have regen up. I feel like regen is the most mana efficient spell in the game for healing, just because it's constantly ticking every 6 seconds. This one, what is this, like 30 minutes? And it heals, what was that, 70 hit points every 6 seconds. Like, just leaving that up negates Lich, negates everything, it's really nice to have. You get hit once on one of these other characters, or, someone in the group gets hit once, gets hit by a spell. The regen will heal them up before you have to even think about it. And then I also have the Ghost Renewal that's going out and healing everybody at the same time. So it's just lots of healing going out and getting as much of that healing out there. So it works for me. I don't know how it works for you, but that's how it goes for me. Now, we have other spells on cast. I just don't keep them on my bar at all times. We have a pet, Feral's Companion. He is, where is he at? He's right here. He's level 63, so he's higher level than the Shadow Knight pet, so he's got that going for him. But he is not really that great of a pet. I even at 125, I don't feel like this pet is that great, but he is not terrible. He could be worse. He's hitting for what, 68, let's say. I don't see anything higher than 68, so the Shadow Knight pet was doing 65, this one's doing 68, so it's, slight improvement there. But you have to think of pets that are not mage pets, that are not necromancer pets, they're not beast lord pets, all the other pets as damage over time spells. That's the only way to think about them, and treat them as so. They attack the mob and they do damage. If they die, you summon them again. They're more mana efficient than, casting dots over and over again, because, it is what it is, but it is something to keep in mind. I always want your pet up. We have Companion's Discipline at this point, which gives this pet greater hold, so the pet won't go run off and do stupid stuff. So it's nice to have at all times. Next up, we have Spirit Quickening, which is the pet haste from level 50. That's the only pet haste we have right now. I believe we do get an upgrade to this at some point, but right now this is the best one we have. And then we have Focus, so it's been renamed to Talisman of the Wound Shi. Instead of Focus of the 7th, I believe this is the level 65 version, so they changed the name. But this is a group buff. Does hit points, stamina, or no, hit points, strength, and dexterity, and I believe In the next tier, it will do agility and other stuff too, and some other buffs. It does like everything. Like there's like some kind of unity, all the shaman buffs, right? It's really cool. But keep that on everybody at all times. And then we have stamina, talisman of fortitude, which I keep on everybody at all times just to max out stamina. Now, a lot of these guys that I got going here, they're close to max stamina. Like, what's his max stamina? 395. But some of these buffs that shamans get, I don't know if this one does it, will actually increase your cap. So if you're capped at 400, this will increase your cap a little bit. I don't know if this one does that, but some of them do that. So that's all the spells that I use throughout my play. Like there's other spells I might, situationally grab and do, but for the most part, I don't. It's just not worth it. Not worth my time to change any of these spells from this, for the most part. So hotbar wise, hotbar is pretty much the exact same as it was in the 65 video. I did change, I think I put Spirit Call in here. I don't know if that was in there in the level 65 video or not, but that is our Spirit Call right here. Summon some pack of wolves to attack the target. Extra damage is extra damage. I did change the heal X target 20 button to remove use the mod rod because I felt like that was causing me to have some issues with casting spells because I was just not getting the throughput I needed to actually be able to survive. So some changes there. The rest of the bar is the same. My debuff button is the same. I cast 2. I X target 19, which is the assist target, and I cast whatever my slow is. In a few levels, we'll get an AA slow, and I'll get it off my bar because I don't use it enough to warrant it being a spell slot at this point. And then I did change my dots, so I no longer cast 3 dots because I only have room for 1 dot on the bar right now. So I only cast 3 at this point, and then I do Spirit Call. So it kind of gets this little extra damage there if it's up, but it is what it is. I did change my buff X target 20, so now it casts 6, which is Panther, and then it casts Sloth right afterwards. So just pretty simple little macro there. One, cast Panther, and then waits a second to cast Sloth. And I only do that on X target 20, which is the tank. No one else needs it at this point. It would be beneficial to the Beast Lord, but I'm not really trying too hard on getting her to melee every mob. So it's better on the tank. See here. Follow is the same. Stand, attack off, X target 1, which is the character I'm playing from. Follow and invite. Then the rest of these are just teleports. So we got my gate, which sends me to guild lobby, and then all my teleporters here back to guild hall, and then all that stuff. Now I do have a called out heal X target 1 through 6, which all they do is cast single target torpor on that. So this is like shift numpad 1 targets the guy and casts on him. So if I do shift target numpad 2, targets my bard and casts on her, right? Very easy, built in. Now, let's talk about the multibind. Now, this character uses multibind, but uses it slightly different. Or is it hotbar 6? So you can notice that we don't, like on the Shadow Knight, if you watch that video, he's got both of these bound to 4 and 5. On the Shaman here, we do not. We only focus on the 5. And that is because we don't want to be spamming heals if we don't need to, and so I kind of have it separated. Now, the multibind is pretty simple. It's Ghost to Renewal, so let's just go ahead and cast these as we go, which is a pretty long cast, but it's got a 15, 16 second reuse, and then I have our normal heal, Yopa's Mending, right afterwards. So it is what it is, and then all the rest of the AAs are after this. So if we go here and we just target this guy and press 5 over and over again, so he's going to do Yopa's Mending, and then can of 5, And then we turn into a bear because I put rabid bear there because I thought, why the hell not? Plus it activates all the other stuff at the exact same time. Now it gives us a massive amount of throughput. While spamming this, I'm spamming 5 is what I'm doing right now. And I'm just chain healing my Shadow Knight right now. Because he's the only one that matters. And then when Ghost to Renewal's up, I pop that on there. That's extra healing. I don't have to change my target. I don't have to worry about spamming this over and over. Because if I try to spam Spiritual Serenity over and over, right, it's got no recast time. So it would just literally be spamming the same spell over and over again. Now, what are these AAs, right? I have Call of the Ancients, which summons a stationary ward, which will heal, I guess, 200 health, AoE, everybody in the range, right? Not bad. I have Cannibalization, which is the lower level, the first tier of the AA Cannibalize. It only does like 2,000 health for 1,000 mana, so it's not that great, but later on it does like half your health for 30 of your mana. And then Ancestral Aid, so it heals all group members in a 200-foot radius for 333 every 6 seconds, increasing all their stats by 90. Insanely strong. And then I guess we got Gift of Mana there too. Rabid Bear. Now, Rabid Bear does no real benefit to us other than makes us a little tankier, makes us a little more melee, gives us double attack, gives us some HP regen. The HP regen is the only really reason I'm popping it on the bar, because I'm not going to go melee with this character at this point in time, but maybe later on I will start meleeing with him, because it is pretty good, right? Like, it is not a bad spell. You can see all the benefit there, right? It's just pretty crazy. It makes this a melee class for 5 minutes, is pretty much what it does. And then Ancestral Guard, when activated, absorbs 75% of the incoming melee damage on us. So this is a defensive one. If I didn't put it there, I would never cast it. So I just have it there. So if I get hit, I get hit. If it's up, it's up. All right, I'm not going to switch to this guy's screen to click that unless it's, I need to. So that. Then we have Staunch Recovery, Steadfast Servant, and Virulent Paralysis. That's just a root spell. I don't really use it at all. And then Spiritual Channeling. So this allows us to consume our health instead of mana. So it's pretty nice. I literally just got this at level 70, so I haven't had much use with it yet, but eventually it becomes pretty strong, especially if we're like low on mana. We pop that, takes it from our health, so it's really nice. We also picked up at level 70 Call of the Wild, which allows us to battle res a character back. So if somebody dies, we can battle res them back without resing them. Like, it doesn't res them. We can still res them after the fact. So if like you'll see in some videos, my Shadow Knight dies and I can't do anything because he's the main assist, and all my macros and all my hotkeys are all set based on having an assist. So it kind of like, I need to get him back as soon as possible. Luckily, I'm going to start having the pets taunt soon to kind of take some of that off, and it'll be much easier for me to res somebody back in and have that situation working correctly. So that'll be fun to have there. Then we have Spirit Call, which is just that summon the wolves to attack the target thing. Radiant Cure is a group cure. It cures 25 poison, disease, curse counters, and a 95% chance to remove another negative effect. So it was pretty nice to have on the bar there and just cast it. It's a 2 minute, I guess 2 minute reuse, fairly quick cast. Definitely usable, very usable in raids. But I use it whenever I get anything I don't like. Let's see here. That's all those ones there. Some illusion items and a button. I have no idea what it did. And that's it. We have no auras. So Shaman the only kind of like aura we do get is where is it? Objects. What is it under? Traps. Yeah, these idol of Mallow, right? So it allows us to let's just try it, right? So it should have us drop. I think it drops a totem wherever we are, right? Yeah, so it drops this totem, and this totem casts Mallow on everything around it. Right, you can see here, there, Mallow is on it. So, I mean, there's a use for that at some point, I guess. I don't use it. I don't Mallow anything at this point. It's just not something I need. So we don't have any auras or anything like that. We have no disciplines. Most of these spells, like, I don't really need most of them. Like, there's a lot of dots we could throw in there. And these ice nukes and stuff are pretty nice. But we are going to be using the ice nukes at a point. Later on in the future, we'll get the ice nuke line changes into a healing twin cast line. And so we'll start casting those on cooldown. But we don't have that yet. So there's nothing there to do. But I think that's like everything. Statistics buffs. Yeah, I don't cast agility. We got champion at some point. I don't cast that. Just it would be not, you know, if like in a raid situation I'm playing one character, I could do it, but it's just too much work to try to memorize all that stuff and get it all going. Yeah, that's everything for the the Shaman. So that's how I play my level 70 Shaman. If you're curious to watch how I do all this with all my other characters, the Hobbs and Friends series on my channel here is pretty much that. We'll be going to Ashengate for 70 to 75 and giving that a shot. So that'll be the next content we do after we finish some raids here at level 70 and some more of these setup videos. But if you have any questions or comments, please let me know down in the comment section. And thank you very much for watching. Please have a fantastic day.